Welcome to the catcher's editing lesson. We're gonna dive straight in and waste no time. So first and foremost is open up your CapCut. It should look like this. If not, then you are going to go to start a new project. Then we're gonna click import. Then you are going to locate all of the videos that you will want to utilize for the video. Come into here, and what you will do is, I'm also gonna put this in there as well. You are going to import all of the footage into CapCut right in the corner. Next, what you want to do is go through and there's a preview button here where it'll actually show you which videos are what. So we want to actually take our best video that we have. For this specific video, I'm going to use hitting. So we're actually going to come into here, import the hitting button by pressing the blue button, and we're going to sequence this out. So as you can see, here's everything that we need for the hitting sequence, and we are gonna start chopping it up. So first off is find your best swing. So that's nice, right up the middle. And you wanna see the pitcher throwing firm BP, right? So that's a great shot for us to utilize. If you want, you can come over here, go split and B. I like to just press B, but for the forward of this video, I'm just gonna use the shortcut keys, which is going to be B and A for select and split. So go to B on the timeline, do that, press A and backspace. Now, when we play the video, that's what we're gonna get. Beautiful. So those three swings right there are perfect, and that's all we really need from this. The reason that I had you guys take so many swings in this point is because you never know which ones are gonna be good and which ones are gonna be bad. So in this case, those three were great, and we're gonna move on to the next thing. Now we're gonna go over to, I want to see the blocking ones at the starting point to utilize. So right before he throws the ball, that's what we want to be using. Nice. Showing him go over.
Gather like you're gonna throw, okay?
So in that case, if you have any audio that's in there, we will eventually take this out for the time being, but I want to actually skip forward past this, and I will frame it back, press B, A, click on the selected scene and delete. Great. So once we have done this, what we want to now establish is the next shot. Very simple to do because we're gonna go on to framing. So click onto your framing one, and you can see dishing it out to the side. Get ready to receive and frame. So now we're gonna click on the timeline, B, split, A, delete. Now that we have this in place, good here. Great. That is plenty of framing. Want to aim for about 5 frames as a catcher. Next thing that we want to throw in, and actually I'm gonna end up going back because catcher pop time is huge. So we're gonna put this all the way back, and what you can do is hold and drag, and it'll throw the clip in right here. So I'm going to have us put everything in this case, and as you can see, the camera's a little bit far away, so we're gonna go over to the scale side, and we're gonna scale it in nice and easy, just like that. And then as he's getting ready, B, A, delete. Beautiful. And those are our shots for the throwdown. And then I'm going to actually take the other throwdown video and import it so that we get both angles. As we can see here, clean everything up. B, A, delete, and we're gonna just watch the video through. Great. Now this gives the coach a little bit more information about you, and as you can see, we are past the minute mark for the video, and we still have some clips to utilize. See how smooth this is moving though? So we want to aim for that 1 to 2 minute range for the video itself, and as we go about this, we will end up chopping it up individually for the video's final cut. However, the next one that we want to be utilizing is, where is it? Is the bunting, right? So let's put our keyframe all the way at the end.
Good.
B-A, delete. Now these, we don't need to have a lot of them in the actual video itself, simply for the fact that it's bunting. Coaches aren't as important for this factor. They're not really looking for it too much, but it's nice to have it in there. And then we're gonna throw in that last video, the side shot of us hitting. And make sure we're scrubbing, find our best hits. B-A, delete. Now this allows the coach just to see some more of the mechanical breakdowns from everything, and we will continue on with that. Now, if you have a 60 as a catcher, most times you're not going to, but if you do, you can throw the 60 in all the way at the end and just import this into the timeline and run the 60 and go from there. And then it'll just highlight the 60 all the way, and you can zoom in on it if you need to, resize it, bring it over to the edge, and now you're running the 60. In this case, I'm not going to put the 60 in there, and instead we're going to move on and take out all of the volume for everything. So we're gonna go all the way up to audio, volume, throw it down. In this case, actually, so in this case, what we're gonna do is for hitting, we're gonna leave the audio on so that the coach can actually hear the back crack of it. More than anything. As for catching, we don't need to have the volume on. Usually it's just a distraction, so we can just turn the volume down on these for framing and select each and every one of them and go from there. For hitting, leave the audio on. If you would like, you can have just a bit of the audio in the background so it's not dead quiet, but you don't really need to have the audio on it, and it'll all be good. As for what we're gonna do next is chop everything up to make it a lot more smooth so you don't have as much dead time. For the hitting portion, don't chop it up unless you have like mistakes in between it and you need to. However, for catching, as you can see, the backpedaling, moving back, you can cut that out. But since he's moving really quick, he's not, hanging around, he's not, walking, I would leave it in there. It shows hustle. As in this case, there's that one throwdown, go a couple frames to the right, B, go, gets ready for the next one, A, throwdown. Great. So now what that looks like is throwdown, gets it there, throwdown, gets it there, and then we can cut again, gets ready for the throwdown, gets it there, nice, gets ready for a throwdown, and then he gets there. Beautiful. Simple as that. As for the catching, great, picks up the ball, funnels it, great, moving back, we don't need to have that there. Instead, move on to the next shot, done, great. So all you want to be doing is taking out the dead time. Coaches don't need to be seeing the dead time for the video. It's not important. So we just want to take those out. In this case, I would leave all of them in there since it's framing. It's very easy for you to do. It's not like you're tossing and turning every single time, so or making a mistake every single time. So I would leave that. Bunting, another one that we should be editing. So he throws, great. Comes back. You know, in this case, I would actually leave it because you can see him hustling all the way back. So if you have the videos of you hustling and you're ready to go, do that. But you only need to have about 2 of those in there and you can move on. Great. The next thing that we are going to do is add the actual thumbnail titles. So this is going to be with our text in the top right. We're going to add a default text, or if you want, there are text templates for There are text templates for CapCut. You can come into here, add nice little titles in the bottom right. Let's see. This looks great. Add a little bit of production value to it. Doesn't hurt. Move this down. We're gonna shrink this down into the top left. Actually, yeah, bottom left instead. And you can come into the right and you can see this, and we'll go hitting. All right, and then what you can do is press Command C and just go to the frame and it'll copy and paste it over. So now we can use the exact same one, and this will be release. If the text doesn't fit in the screen, just lower the line density so then it pops up right there nice and clean. And we'll do the exact same thing for this. We'll go pop time, put a space so that I can see it. Move on to the next one, hitting, blocking. This will be blocking. And we will reduce the line. This will be framing. Same thing, reduce the line. Bunts. And then hitting again. So as you can see, very simple. Doesn't have to be anything fancy with this. However, the next thing we want to actually put in here is the information about us, right? So who are we, what are we doing, anything of that sort. So if you don't want to use any of these templates, and in this case I won't, I'm just going to use a default text. Now for the default text, I'm going to have this just go all the way across, spread it out, and you can do this for the other ones. We're going to say Kyle Smith, catcher, 5'11", and then we're going to put 165 pounds, and then we're also going to throw in his age, sophomore. So next thing we want to do is shrink this, throw it into the top right, and right there we can come over to animation. We can just throw in a nice in and out. I would say just put a nice fade in, and then we can put a fade out. Very simple. So it looks like this. Now, as for the pop time, what we are going to have to do in order to throw this into CapCut is go into our clock on our phone, go to stopwatch, and once we go into our stopwatch, we will then be assessing this on our own, and you just want to press start and stop every single time that there's a clip, okay? So we'll go start. So once we finish that, we're going to stop the recording, and then we are going to go into our photos, and send it to our computer via AirDrop, or you have to email it or text it to yourself on the laptop. So once we have this, we're going to open this up. Once we import it into the media, now what we can do is come into here and drag it in. And you can replay with this, and we will cut it up as well. But you want to move this off to the right side so that the coach can see it. Now, if you aren't super accurate with the stopping and starting of the stopwatch, don't worry about it. As you can see, I'm not perfect with it whatsoever. A coach will actually be a lot more effective with their stopwatch and going through it. This just gives them a kind of a baseline to go off of with the actual toss to get things started with what you have to offer them, right? And this is the final video for the catchers. If you do want to put all the way at the end, you can put a player profile. You can put, this at the end. And we actually recommend you do this. You put the end screen like this. You can blow it up a little bit more. And then on top of this, you can make another one, goes right underneath it, that has all the coach's information of your high school coach, your phone number, anywhere that they can contact you. You can also put the state that you're from and so on and so forth. We also recommend to throw in a picture of yourself. So if you have a picture of yourself, put that in here as well. Now keep it very simple, right? That's all we're doing here, keeping it simple as much as possible to get your name out there. Send it out to coaches, send it out, have them, see who you are. If you want, you can also throw a little bit of music in there. CapCut does have free music for you to use. So you can put, lo-fi music. That's kind of always a go-to. You can just drag it in, throw it down at the bottom. Lower the volume this way or over here. Keep the volume to like a minimum. You don't need to have it super loud, but it can make the actual video a little bit more engaging for the coach, and you can go from there. As for the actual finished product, what you want to do is you go up to the top right, click on export, retitle it, save it to the file point that you want. Resolution is 1080p. All these have it in the codec form of H.264. That's what we want. MOV is okay, but I would put MP4. That's the best way to do it. Frame rate, good. Export audio, you don't got to worry about that. And then just click export and you are good to go. It should take a minimum of 5 minutes tops, if that, a minute, and go from there. So that was the catching video, guys. Thank you. And if you have any other things you want to go over, let us know in the community down below, and we will go into all of that fun stuff for you. Ask us your questions and everything in between.